Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming back here this Tuesday. I am your host, Kimberly Clemens of Chats and Chuckles. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I am rejoicing again today. Y'all, you know what I'm going to say. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab you a notebook too, because you may want to write some information down. You may want to remember this. Listen, I truly do have an extra special guest again this week. I am sitting here with the one and only Tamashian Jones. Tamashian, tell the world hello.
What up, though?
No, I forgot that is the saying.
What up, though? I just want to say thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it. You are extraordinary yourself.
Oh, thank you so much.
You have an awesome testimony, and I've been watching you for years, so you are amazing yourself.
Oh, thank you. Now, you kind of stumped me right there, but I'm gonna say thank you. I really appreciate that. So we have some good history. Mm-hmm. And first, I want to say thank you for coming dressed as you normally do.
Every once in a while, I pull something out the closet, you know.
Every once in a while, really? No, like you are like king of Black history. That's how we view you, king of Black history.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I met you at Evangel. Mm-hmm. I met you at Evangel, and you inspired my children. That is how we got our start, right? Mm-hmm. And how we got our start is something that I will never forget. But I want you first to tell the audience, who are you?
So I am Tamashian. I go by the Visionaire.
You sure do.
And ultimately, I'm a filmmaker, so I make movies, narrative feature films, documentaries. And I am the husband of one, father of two. And I am the oldest of 5 boys.
Man, you got siblings?
Oh, yeah. I got some that I haven't met, too, so they out here somewhere. So if you're watching, what up, though, bro or sis, So that's my father's side, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all know how it was in the 70s and the early 80s.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
But yeah, I've been doing filmmaking. I started off doing video as a hobby in 2002, 3, and then I made my first movie in 2011, and I've been making movies ever since then. It's probably about 15 or 16 narrative feature films and documentaries that I've done so far.
Oh, yeah, you've done a lot with that. But I want to move back to the family man part of you, because you do have an amazing, talented family. Amazing, talented family. Wife, talented. Children, talented. Do you ever think about, where that comes from?
It has to come from the Lord.
Only the Lord, right?
Because if you heard me singing and you heard them singing, you are going to say it had to come from the Lord.
You say it did not come from me.
If you watch them dancing and watch me dance, you're going to have to say it comes from the Lord.
And I want to tell y'all, you are such a good sport. He does the dances with the daughter. She gets you out there because that's her skill. And she try to teach you. I really like that, how y'all do things as a family.
Yeah, and I'm amazed because I took the behind the scenes video, and I'm like, nobody's gonna watch this. They're gonna watch the little 10-second clip of the finished product, but it was like an 8-minute video of her teaching me this TikTok dance, and I probably had more views on and comments on the teaching part than I did the actual video. So I mean, if people want to watch it, I'll do some more.
Yeah, that's really cool. So you're a family man, and then also knowing that your spirituality. Let's touch a little bit on that. Mm-hmm. So you definitely love God.
Absolutely.
And where have you traveled in this time of learning who God is to you and to your family?
Well, I wasn't raised as a Christian, I was just raised, hey, we just try to do the right thing, Mm-hmm. And in 97, I gave my life to the Lord. It was a bunch of stuff that was happening. Both of my favorite rappers, I got killed.
And who are they? Oh, 97. Okay. I remember.
Well, 96. And it was the anniversary.
Well, 96 was Tupac.
96 was Tupac. 97 was Biggie. But
Okay.
it was the anniversary of Tupac's passing. And it was like, I was just sitting thinking, I got to do something different. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be like these guys, and they're not having like the best ending.
So you were rapping?
I mean, I was rapping, but not necessarily seriously rapping. But I was rapping, yeah. But
rapping,
like
and you
I
were
was
a fan.
listening to them and I was kind of like, copying their lifestyle. And you know how it is. We look up to these guys, And then the awakening came. I'm like, I got to do something different. I started going to church, and then like I was only going to church because I was trying to holler at this young honey, who pastor said you need to bring your boyfriend to church, and I came. But she left, went to school, and I had to make the decision. Do I continue to go to church on my own, or do I just go back to doing what I was doing? And I really wanted a certain kind of life. So I was like, you know what? I really need to stick to this. And then that's when everything happened, and I really got serious about my faith. And that was almost 30 years ago, so.
Yeah, and you're definitely serious about it. And you always, your faith comes first. That's what I've learned about you over the years. Your faith absolutely comes first. And with your family, like really, do you try the things at home first with your family? Or do you, grab people and try those things that come to your mind with other people first?
What are you talking about?
Okay,
yeah, give me some examples.
So your family, y'all do all kind of stuff, Tamashian. Y'all involved in a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
So pull one of those things that y'all do as a family, movie-wise, or if it's travel-wise,
we made it. We did make a short film during COVID when we were stuck in the house. We called it Jones Family Reverse, where my wife Tavia and I played the roles of my son and daughter,
kids. I
and then my
remember
son
that.
and daughter played the roles of the father, right, and the mother. So they were acting out how we act, and then we would act out how they would act, and then like we would have conversations, and then we're like, all right, well let's just do a short film. So we wrote the script, we shot it. We edited it, and then we put it out on Facebook or something. I forgot how we rolled it out, but a lot of people had watched it. It was tens and tens of viewers, and but that was a while ago. But we just, I don't know, we just decided to do something. It's like we pick something, and then we decide to do it.
That's something. But let me ask you, was your feelings hurt when they acted you out?
Not necessarily. Some stuff that they say, I'll be like, do I really sound like that? Do I really? And because people like to over exaggerate how you sound.
Do they really?
And they making it seem like you sound that way. I'm like, no, that wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that bad, am I?
Right, am I? I really do. I'd like to highlight your family because your family has truly been a blessing to my entire family. I also know that the things that you do, the support that you give one another, that is really huge. Especially, how long have we known each other? Like it's been definitely over 10.
Going there.
I can't really remember
we joined maybe 08 or 09.
So y'all were there before us, but I just remember being there for like 5 years, and now we're away from there like 5 years. So it's
longer than that.
Yeah, it's but just knowing that you are who you are, and always being that family man, supporting, anything that your wife does, anything that your children does, it just looks like a nonstop, production, for your family of support.
Yeah, we have to support each other. As a kid growing up. I played basketball, like from the 7th grade to the 12th grade, organized basketball for my schools. And every once in a while, like my mom would show up. Every once in a while, some of my uncles would show up. But it wasn't consistent. I would always look in the stands, and I would see other players with their families recording, cheering them on, coaching them from the side, go baseline, and I'm like, where's my dad at? Where's my, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I never wanted my children to feel like they weren't supported by their family. So I make it a point for us to, as a family, if somebody got a play, somebody got an event going on, we all go and support. because this is what we do. So
Yeah.
I never wanted them to feel like my daughter's playing basketball, and I'm like, you about to play basketball? But I think she got a little bit of that jump shot from me. But we all go to her games, and my son has some stuff. We all go to his stuff. My wife has stuff. We go, and then they come to my film premieres and support me when I make movies. So, it's a thing. We have to support each other.
That's amazing. So let's use this moment really for you to speak to fathers, because I think that's extremely important that a father knows that if they've experienced that feeling, they never should want their child to experience that. So what can you say to fathers in this moment?
I would say, like, you matter a lot more than what you think. A lot of times we feel like, the kids love the mom more than they love the dad because we're not around. But when stuff hit the fan and they need some real support, their real protection, real love, I mean, they want their father there. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that it's real important that we, as men, prioritize like God and as an example, kind of like show them how they should live, opposed to just telling them, because it comes to a certain point in time when you telling them what to do when they're 3 or 4, go do this, keep clean your room. But when they get about 15, 16, now you're not just telling them, you kind of like you're coaching them. And we're just starting to learn that we're trying to help you make better decisions, because I can't tell you what and what not to do because you got the freedom on your own. So now I got to change my parenting style and we have to learn this, because I'm still learning.
That's true.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
So true.
So, but just from, having coffee with my daughter the other day, we just went out for some coffee and just talked about all the stuff that she was going through, stuff that I'm going through, and we just talked. But we left. It was like, it means a lot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To be able to have those conversations, because she know I genuinely love and wants God's best for her.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. That's some good stuff. And, Father's Day, the world says celebrate the father in June, but it's March coming, it's February right now. Like, can we celebrate the fathers, before that one day? Yeah. But thank you for that. That does mean a lot, especially with all of the viewers, that are listening. Yeah. But I want to talk a little bit, too, about just how you impact, with your family support and people watching, how you impact others. Because for me, to get an invite, to a movie premiere, or to get an invite to write, something for the book, to get an invite to bring my children to the 2020 vision. Like, do you realize how much you impact people's lives?
I probably don't realize how much I impact people unless they tell me, and it makes me feel, good that I am making an impact. And that's the reason why I do it. Like, when I pick projects to do it, I'm looking at not necessarily what's being done, but what impact is it going to have. So I got a lot of documentaries and feature films that I'm working on. That's impactful stuff, good and impactful. But coming up with that 2020 vision thing, because we would always sit and write down like our visions and where we see ourselves in the next 5 years and kind of like work through those things. And I'm like, you know what? I want to have a birthday. And I actually had the first 2020 vision party in 2013 at my home. And I wanted for my birthday for people to come and tell people where they see themselves in the next 5 years.
Yeah, I thought that was just amazing. I thought, who does that?
Yeah. So they would literally sit up and go to the front of the room and say, this is what I'm doing. And this is what I'm writing a book, and I need y'all to hold me accountable. And I'm starting this nonprofit organization. I want to do this. And it was a room full of very powerful people that I was just friends with, that gravitated towards me. I gravitated towards them. And then a couple of years later, in 2015, I said, okay, well, 2020 is coming. In 5 years, we're going to do it much bigger. And then we rented out like a theater, and we had a big projection, and people gave PowerPoint presentation. We gave everybody like 5 minutes to share where are you now, where are you going to be in the year 2020, what steps are you going to take to get there, and people just lined up and went after. And then your children they presented something that was very powerful, the impact that they wanted to make with the libraries and all that stuff,
and they did
the community.
Exactly what they set out to do.
Yeah.
That was so powerful, and we thought you was the coolest man ever. 2020 vision party, and Tamashian, the visionaire, he just was like, come on, you got to get your suit. You got to dress like this. Everything was to the T. Your vision that you had, it reminds me of the word where it says, write the vision and make it plain.
Absolutely.
Right? So to have my kids writing the vision, and then make it plain, they had to get up in front of all these adults, because it was a couple of children there.
I think the youngest was Anaya. I believe she was 7.
Yep.
Or 10, 11 at the time. I don't know. She was very young. You know what I'm saying?
That word does not lie. People caught the vision.
Yeah.
They were the heralds that ran with the vision. That was so amazing. And then to have it at that location that had all the flags on the inside, it spoke volumes, to do that. And like you said, you had the projector up there. People not only just stood up there, but they believed in their vision.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a beautiful thing because, one, it forces you to really write down what you want because everybody's so general. They're like, oh, I want to do this. I want to be successful. Okay, what is success? How are you defining success? And success, the way I define it, is accomplishing what you set out to accomplish. If you don't have anything that you set out to accomplish, I don't know if you can say that you're successful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and another thing is it puts you on a hook for something. When you publicly make a mandate and say, I'm going to do this, and everybody look at you and they're like, all right, we're watching. And then it's like they're going to hold you to it just by you kind of like putting it out there. So writing it down, making it real clear, and then putting it out there so everybody know what you're doing, it holds you accountable, but it also opens up conversation for support. Because if you're getting ready to open up whatever, a bakery or something, and somebody say, hey, I got a place that I was going to sell, can we work? You know what I'm saying? So like people were very supportive of other people's vision. And we can't do this thing alone. We need each other. And it was a lot of connections that was made.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you understand the impact of how many connections were made, but it's a lot of stuff that's going on right now that's affecting thousands of households in this city because of the connections that was made at that 2020 Vision Program.
I absolutely believe that. I remember Tanita Chantilly at that place. And after there, my focus at that time was on my children. But years later, I took one of her classes because I remembered her at that 2020 Vision and took one of her classes, and it helped me get that book published.
Oh, praise the Lord.
Yeah. So, the things that you did back then, the fruit is still there. The fruit keeps coming and coming and coming. So when you talk to people today, because it's 2026, the vision, the visionaire, what are you telling people today? Because 2020 was 2020. There was a lot of hype in 2020.
Yeah.
So what are you telling people now about having a vision?
I mean, right now, 2020 was supposed to be another party. We was all supposed to have a big party in 2020, and then 2020 happened. So it was like, it just didn't work. And then, but right now, I mean, we're looking more like 2030. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look, we love a party now because you can throw a party.
We can put it on. We can put it on now. You know what I'm saying? And I got space, to do it. But I'm kind of like looking at 2030. You know what I'm saying? There are companies and businesses that got like 50-year plans. They're looking out at 2050 right now. What are we doing in 2030? What is our strategic plan to do this and have this done? And why shouldn't we at least look 5 years ahead in our homes? If you plan on going to school, you plan on studying something, putting out a book or doing real estate, whatever it is that you want to do, plan it out. Like at least put it out there. And then now we have all these tools with artificial intelligence. We can kind of like brainstorm ideas and put stuff out. Like we couldn't do that in 2015.
Yeah.
So now you should be able to go a little bit further with your vision planning, because you got a little extra help and extra tools and research right at your fingertips, where you don't necessarily need to go to the library and look up all this stuff and do research. And now you can just pull it right up.
You can sit right there,
You
cross your legs.
You can prompt it. You know what I'm saying? And it'll have you do some artwork for you or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm saying like utilize these tools now to help your vision get further ahead, but you won't be able to get there unless you write it out and say you're going to go there.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be perfect.
It shouldn't. Just get it done. I'd rather have it done than have it perfect, because sometimes perfect won't get it done because you're so busy focusing on trying to make sure you fix something. Just get it done, and if you can fix it, you fix it. If you can't, move on. You got it done.
I always hear there are a lot of moving parts, to a vision. If you keep on trying to get it perfect, you'll never do anything. That's called procrastination.
There you go.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So, the people that you've encountered, when you say some powerful people that was in a room, anybody that, maybe the audience may know that sat in that vision party, that first one.
Okay, so Chris Lambert.
Oh, Life Remodel.
Life Remodel. So he had already started Life Remodel. But what Life Remodel was, they were just fixing houses and giving houses away. And then he said he announced at our vision party that he wanted to transform a school, and that was Cody High.
Wow, and we were a part of that.
And we were a part of that transformation with Cody High. So
I did not know he was at the vision party.
He was at the vision party. Jason Wilson.
Are you serious?
Jason Wilson, who was doing the Cave of Adullam.
Yeah.
When this is 2013 now. I mean, Cave of Adullam is really, worldwide recognition.
Wow.
He was there.
I did not know he was at
there.
The party.
He was there in the living room, and it was a DJ, a young kid that was doing DJ. He wanted to be a DJ, and Jason had a bunch of DJ equipment because he used to do DJing back in the day or whatever, and he was making connections to be able to, give them. DeJuan from Black Leader Detroit.
Wow.
He was there, and Chris Lambert was at the 2020 Vision Party together.
Wow.
And then DeJuan ended up working at Life Remodel.
Yeah.
And now DeJuan started Black Leaders Detroit.
Ain't that something?
And he's giving out grants to no interest loans to companies and doing bike rides and everything. And I mean, it's a lot of people.
It really is a lot.
I'm
but
probably missing some more.
Of
people.
course, but just name a few. But like when you hear those names and you see where they are today, to know that they started, back then, that is something. It is something. It's almost like we should really look at ourselves and remember that we have to stop making excuses.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna tell you another thing, and a lot of people don't know this, but it was like me, DeJuan, Jason, another guy named Shannon, and Quan. I don't know if you know Quan Nellums, but he's doing phenomenal things too. But we used to all meet at the library for maybe an hour, 2 hours a week, and we would take our phones, put them in the center, and tell everybody don't answer their phones, and we would work on our vision. So Jason was writing Cave of Adullam stuff. I was writing stuff for the Good News Talk Show and writing movies, but we had dedicated time to work on our vision and what we wanted to do.
Man, y'all hear that?
And this was this is years ago when none of this stuff that we're doing now had manifested, but it did in our mind.
That's so relevant, but it's so important to know where it started. It started in the mind.
It started as a thought. Everything that you see started as a thought.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Please go grab your coffee and your tea. We are going to come right back. You don't want to miss the second half. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. Ah, ah. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. Ah, ah.
Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
Hey, I'm the new girl at WHPR, Kimberly Clemens, the host of Chats and Chuckles. Tune in on Tuesdays, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Chats and Chuckles. I am here to bring life to the chatter that matters.
The biggest leather and fur sale is happening now at Begali Leather, where luxury meets craftsmanship. From sleek men's jackets to elegant ladies' furs, you're gonna love everything at Begali Leather. Every piece is made to impress, perfectly fit, timeless design. And right now, get 50% off. Yes, 50% off the entire store, including meat, fox fur, and premium leather for men and ladies. Direct from the manufacturer, no middleman. Only at Begali Leather. Unmatched quality and unbeatable prices at 8 Mile and Kelly and East Point.
Feel good about your future with tuition-free programs at Wayne County Community College District. Whether you want to be in healthcare, computer science, the culinary arts, digital media, or robotics and automation for the next generation of vehicles, WCCCD has you covered. A full range of programs to achieve your goals, fit your schedule, and give you all the support you need to be successful. All of it tuition-free. Now there's something to feel good about. Register today at wcccd.edu.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri. If you're behind on your property taxes, we have programs to help. You don't have to lose your house, and you don't have to pay all at once. This summer, our mobile unit will be visiting Wayne County communities to help make it easier to start a payment plan and keep your property. Go online or call to find the plan that's right for you and where you can get help from our mobile unit. The last thing I want is for anyone to lose their property to foreclosure. Make your payments every month and keep your property.
Want to stay in the driver's seat of your health? My Mobile Health units remove barriers to getting prevention healthcare services. My Mobile Health brings free or low-cost services to local communities, so you can easily access health screenings, lab tests, vaccines, guidance, and more. We're paving the way to better health. See when and where we're rolling into your community at michigan.gov/mobilehealth. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Matter. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
Claudine Jackson thought she had it all until she was faced with the challenges of raising an autistic child. Inspired by autism is her brutally honest journey filled with heartbreak and triumph. Get your copy and find the support you deserve today by visiting www.claudinejackson.tv.
313watkins.com. Streaming on Roku.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank y'all for coming back. Please sit back and enjoy the rest of this half hour. I have here my extra special guest again this week is Tamashian the Visionaire Jones.
What up, though?
Yeah, what up, though? I said it. Randall, don't laugh at me, okay? But I just want us to really dive into just really how you got started with that filmmaking, because I think the things that you do are very powerful.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had my very first experience with filming in high school. I went to Communication and Media Arts, so shout out CMA. Okay. And they had a short film that they were working on that I was an actor in, and I had a chance to watch you know, the behind the scenes stuff, and, you know, doing stuff with different takes and different angles, and it was pretty cool. You know, we shot in the school hallway, we shot some stuff on the road, then we shot some stuff at the Fort Wyoming drive-in. You know, we shot a scene there, so it was pretty cool. You know, going on location and everything, but it didn't really spark my interest until maybe 2000 or 2001. I was taking a class called Arts in Action at Wayne State, and we had to analyze like a movie. We had to analyze some art at the, you know, DIA, and we just had to write on art stuff or whatever. But when I was watching and analyzing the movie, I was like, man, this is amazing how they switched cameras and they did angles and storylines. And I was like really like, you know, writing about that, and I was excited to write about it. But then part of our project to end the class, we had to do an in-camera edit of a short film. So we couldn't edit it, we had to shoot it. Like one person saying something, hit stop, and then shoot the other person, hit stop, shoot both of them. You know what I'm saying? Like we had to do.
No, I don't know what you're saying, Tamashian.
In-camera edit. So
that's your world.
So we had to film the thing with the camera only, without putting it into editing software. So it was really fun and creative how we had to do that. But
and
it was,
you like that?
Man, it was. I was having the time online. And I was actually in school to be an engineer. I was in manufacturing engineering, but that one class was so fun, and I really liked it. I'm like, you know, I'm about to go get me a camera. So I got me a camera. I got the High 8 with the, you know, the big. Well, anyway.
So look, you got a camera. So I'm familiar with like a big news camera, or you got a personal camera.
But it was more on the lines of a news camera. But it took tapes. You know what I'm saying? We had to
Where you get that
we
from,
had to put tapes in
Tamashian?
or whatever.
Where you get that from?
I don't know, Sears or something. You remember? Woo,
Okay.
yeah, we are dating ourselves. But anyway, I got the camera and I started doing spoof videos. I was doing, you know, remakes of stuff, and I would just write, you know, little random scripts, and we would just go out and do it. It's just, we have fun. Like some of the stuff you see people doing now on YouTube, skits and stuff in grocery stores, like I was doing that back then. And
so there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, nothing new under the sun. I recreated The Last Dragon. I called it The Last Detroit Dragon. You know,
oh, wow.
I was playing around with that. That was like one of my favorite movies and everything. So, but like I was doing that as a hobby. Then I started doing weddings. I started doing events, and I would just, you know, I just like doing video, you know. And then around 2009 or 10, I really wanted to do a movie, and I had some friends that was into film, and I got with them. And then in 2011, we shot A Love That Hurts, our first.
That was 2011?
Film. We shot A Love That Hurts in 2011.
Wow. I remember going to the premiere of that.
Now, that was 2013 when it came out.
Oh, okay.
It took a couple years for us to edit it and everything, but we shot it in 2011, and that was the first time I was on a real filmmaking set.
Wow. So why did it take so long? 2011 to 13.
Well, I mean, we spent all our money on the movie, making it, you know, and then, you know, we had full-time jobs, and we had editors that was, you know, editing, you know, Walter, who directed, he also edited, but he had to find time and do revisions. I mean, we shot 30 days.
Tamashian, I just thought about how when I met you, you helped me get a job.
Really?
It was at your job. You was working at the factory.
Really?
Yes. You were working at the factory. So, but that's what I want to know is, when did you know? Because you quit that job. You were working at a factory.
Yeah, so I started out as an engineer, you know, so I worked as a production supervisor for a very long time. And then I went into engineering, and I became it's called a continuous improvement manager, but I focused on something called lean manufacturing, where it was my job to kind of like analyze assembly lines and to kind of like use less resources to get more product out. So if a line had 20 people, I got to figure out, how can we do this with 17? How can we do this with 15 and make more? And how can we utilize more technology and all that stuff or whatever? So it was my job to kind of like do that. But then in 2021, I decided to quit and go full time into filmmaking.
So what was that like? So if somebody's out there right now saying, I've been thinking about it, I really want to do it, I got this deep desire, like what would you tell them? Because you've done it. Like, how could you help them?
I did. I've been thinking about it since 2011. See, I had a 9 to 5, and then I had a 5 to 9. So my 5 to 9 was working on film, writing scripts, and on my vacation time, I was doing movies, and I was working with nonprofit organization, making movies or whatever. And I'm like, man, one day I'm gonna quit this job and I'm gonna do this stuff full time. But I didn't know how to make any money from it because we were making DVDs, and DVDs was going out of style. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people weren't buying DVDs. And I'm like, how do we make money? We try to put stuff on demand, stuff. So we didn't make enough money to be able to, replace our income until we learned about Tubi and AVOD, so advertising video on demand. And one of my friends made a movie, and they made a bunch of made a bunch of money. And I was like, wait a minute. I make movies too, and when he made all that money, I was like, okay, now I know how to do it. I knew how to make dope movies, didn't know how to make money from it. So now, we're rolling. You know what I'm saying? It's actually one of my childhood friends. I mean, we've been knowing each other since we've been alive, and we went our separate ways. He was making different types of movies than what I was making, but he showed me the blueprint, and he shared with me like the numbers that a lot of people wouldn't share.
You know what? That's so powerful that you shared that part, because a lot of people that are successful will not share how to get to that point. And that is sad.
It is, man. And that's the reason why our society isn't doing as well as it should do, because it's supposed to be like passing the baton and helping the next generation become better.
Yeah.
And just gatekeepers that's hoarding all the information and, not letting, everybody flourish is really, really a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why I teach classes on filmmaking, you know what I'm saying? And I don't let cost be a barrier to be a part of my class. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's cool.
I got to pay what you want model. You know what I'm saying? So if you only can pay $2 or $5, well, I do have a minimum though. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay a little something, but like the class that I'm offering, some people else pay hundreds of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Just to come take the workship.
I tell you, that is so amazing, because that is something that's like being a giver. Being who you are. You don't only give because you're in church, you give because it's a part of who you are. Yeah. So you use it even in your business.
Yeah. I mean, I'm finding a lot of people that could come and help me do films. And when they make movies, I'm coming along helping them out. And it's about the impact. Again, like I want to help people do what they feel God has called them to do. Right? So if they want to make movies and I make movies, that's a win-win right there. Yeah, I can help you. And then when I sitting back, because I watched one of my students did a documentary, and they had somebody follow them all to like different states and stuff or whatever, and I'm sitting back watching the rough cut, and I'm like,
I saw that.
This is amazing.
I saw that. I was watching Tamashian on this bike in this car.
Oh, that was different, but yeah.
But my point is that you never know what Tamashian will be doing because you're always being creative, always working, always trying to tell a story about something that's really important, not just to you, but to the people.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I can be used to be able to do that, I mean, that's how I feel like that, right? So that's why I connect with so many people who are doing amazing stuff, because I get to do video and you get to tell the story about your nonprofit organization that's making an impact, right? And I get to record that, you know what I'm saying? Just what you're talking about is Black Leaders Detroit. They did a bike ride from Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma to Wall Street in New York.
I was glued every day. I was glued.
And then we had to do a recap video of the experience every day. So we basically had to make 35 different movies about what happened. And it was fun telling that story, but the impact that this organization was making by making sure Black and brown people have access to capital, that historically have been denied, I'm like, man, I'm all for it. You know me, I'm all for it. So, but I get to lend my lens to people that's telling great stories. You know what I'm saying? And I get to tell my own stories too, you know, when I'm not working with them. You know?
Yeah, I think that's so incredible. So when you talk about letting people come and be a part of the movie, I know for sure that when I get your information, I shoot it to people that I absolutely know really have that desire to be in a movie.
Yeah.
And I will never forget my cousin. I shot it to her because I've been knowing her for years, right?
Yeah.
And I knew her heart, I knew her desire, and I knew the type of person that you are. And I sent it to her, and she followed up.
Yeah.
Oh, she big time now, y'all.
Yeah, she all on commercials
She
and
big
stuff now.
time. She big time.
And I mean, you want to say her name?
My girl Erica. That's all they need to know. Erica. My
Erica.
cousin Erica.
Yeah. So Erica's been in about 3 of my films right now.
Erica
and
been all
just
over.
applied for like another one, which I may end up casting just because she is amazing. She works hard. She always is prepared. She cares. You know what I'm saying? Like she is an amazing actress, and I'm glad you connected us. You know?
So. So one of the things that I want you to share with the audience is what are some of the things that people need to know, and what can they do if they want to be a part of a movie? Because Facebook will have those, casting calls. You know, if you're this, if you're that. Like, tell people what they really need.
Well, it all depends on what you want. You know, so if you look at the credits on the movie, it's hundreds of names that's working in different departments. So if you want to direct, you want to produce, you want to act, you want to work with lights, you want to be a grip or do sound, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of different things you can do. What you have to do is put out that vision. Where is it that I want to go, and what is it that I want to do? You know what I'm saying? So if you want to be an actor, or if you want to be a producer or a director, I mean, there are different avenues, but you have to decide on what you want to do.
Do you find that people want to come to you and they want to be the Denzel, like first time acting, they want to get the money, you know? Are people doing that?
There are people that you know, they don't want to work for free, and I'm okay with that, but you have to bring some value. If I'm teaching you more than what you're contributing, you should be paying me.
Tamasha, that'll be like me coming talking about I want to be.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I had people that work as production assistants, and I didn't pay them anything. I just trained them. And then they got so good that when I needed somebody, and then I began to pay them. You know what I'm saying? So now they're working on my set as a paid person because they are really valuable, right? And then I get a call from somebody. You got somebody that may be able to do this? And I was like, oh, yeah, she'll knock it out the park. She knocked it out the park, and I haven't been able to get that lady on my film set because she's been working on all these Detroit films, and she's doing amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Which is amazing, and I know you're very proud.
Yeah,
definitely proud.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now, what I noticed too is with some of your films that I see some familiar faces, not actresses, but people who have a profession. You know, I'm a shout out Dr. Black, because Dr. Black will go and your role will say, I need a senior. I need a person over 55. Like, you're very specific at what you're looking for. So now when a person comes to you, like, how do you handle them as that person? You know, just for that role? Or are you calling them back like, you know what, I'm not going to put the casting call out there, I'm going to call that person back? Because she's in more than one of your films.
I mean, there are some people, like, sometimes when I write movies, I have somebody in mind, and I kind of like write that out, you know what I'm saying? But what I like to do is I sit back and I watch people. I don't say too much. Like, I go on a film set and I just sit back and watch every single person, from the production assistant to the director, this and that. And I'm just looking for people who hustle. I'm looking for people who got good attitudes, people who care about what they're doing, who care about the image. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes I make my decision from there. You know, I look at movies and I see the way that people act, and I'm like, you know what? I think they will play this role good. So sometimes I have casting calls. Sometimes I call and cast.
Oh, that's cool.
Depends on if I know that this person's gonna bring it. I don't need to get a bunch of people, because with a casting call, you get a lot of people who they don't have a lot of experience and they really want to get their name out, so then they submit. And sometimes you can find some really good people, but the majority of the time you're getting a lot of newbies who don't really understand. So what I tell people is, you know, make sure you get a professional headshot. Make sure you get a resume done and put together a reel. Now, if you don't have a reel, put together some monologues. Get some scenes of movies or plays that you can memorize and record yourself giving those monologues. There's no excuse.
I know. People do that all the time.
Yeah, you know, and record yourself and then you say, hey, look, I don't have a reel. I'm just starting out, but I just did this Maya Angelou Phenomenal Woman poem. I did whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to really be serious about what you're doing, because if you don't take yourself serious, I'm not going to take it serious.
Absolutely. You know absolutely. So you're born and raised in Detroit.
Grand River Schoolcraft.
Okay.
I wasn't born on Grand River School. I was born in Detroit, though. The hospital I was born in is not around anymore. I don't know. Memorial Hospital. Anybody familiar with Memorial Hospital? Anyway.
Yeah, people probably forgot about that. But born and raised in Detroit. So is it your goal to really put Detroit even more on the map?
No.
No.
Detroit is already on the map.
So you can't do no more.
They know about Detroit. I went to China. They know about Detroit.
Yeah, everybody know about Detroit,
they
right?
know about it through Motown. They know about it through music. They know about it through automotive. Like, I can't make it bigger than what it is, but what I can do is make sure it's being told, the story is being told correctly.
That's
because
important.
We have been miscategorized, and they shown the worst parts of our great city, and they haven't shown it in its totality. We got some bad parts, no question.
But
we got some
that's
beautiful,
everywhere.
Got some beautiful parts too. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I went to China, I went to Shanghai. It was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? We went 15 miles south. It was Shanghai. It was not beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But the world don't see Shanghai.
Right. They
You know
don't
what
talk
I'm saying?
about
They don't
that.
talk about Shanghai. They talk about Shanghai. So when people come from Europe and other places and they want to do a documentary in Detroit, we take them to the most desolate areas of the city and say, this is Detroit. So the story of our city needs to be told just like other great cities get their stories told.
That's so true. That's so true. I remember when you went to Africa, you know, that was the best ever to have the children. What up, though? And they couldn't wait to say it. That was so amazing. Now, where have you gone in Africa?
I've been to Africa 3 times. So I went to Ethiopia.
Okay.
I've been to Kemet or Egypt. And then I've also been to Ghana.
Okay, three places. I've gone to 3.
Okay.
I've been to Uganda.
Okay.
Liberia.
Oh, okay.
And Kenya.
Sweet.
Now, all of my trips were with Dr. Black.
Okay. One of my trips was with Dr. Black.
Okay, great experience, right?
Yeah.
Definitely
Absolutely.
Great experience.
Yeah, she know how to travel and navigate and, you know, get through airports, boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
she know how to take care of you.
Absolutely.
In Africa. I love that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this movie right here, A Mirror of Deception.
Oh, my favorite movie.
Let me grab this poster, y'all. This movie here, amazing movie. I will tell you, it really did have me and a whole lot of people on the edge of our seats, right? So tell us a little bit about where this thought came from.
It came from I was teaching a class, you know, and I was teaching a class, and we were utilizing AI to make posters and come up with like ideas and stuff like that or whatever, right? But we came up with the idea of the story in class, and then we fed it into this large language model that I was showing them about, which was ChatGPT. But this was 2023. A lot of people didn't understand what ChatGPT was. A lot of my students, it was their first time. And we came up with a concept idea. You know, our goal was to come up with an artwork with a poster, synopsis or theme, and something else by, you know, the end of the class. And in 45 minutes, we had artwork, because we use a program called Midjourney. We use Canva. Then we used ChatGPT at the time. You know what I'm saying? Put it all together. And when I got home, I was like, man, I think that movie was really interesting, you know. And I got a call from one of my students. He was like, "Hey, you want to make that movie? I'll make it if you don't make it." I said, "No, I think I'm gonna make it." You know what I'm saying? So I literally started writing the movie, and I pretty much changed. You know, when you got movies, you got ideas, and they move or whatever. But the whole concept of what we came up with in class is just pretty much different than what we came. But it's still kind of like it was close enough to where the story still can kind of like stick. But I had to put some twists and turns and deceive some people. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to just give people the story. You want to, you know, you want to introduce it in a very creative way. So Michaela Lanani and June Shelton, they were my leads, and they worked so hard at becoming these characters, and they did a phenomenal job. The crew that I had was all Detroit raised, and we all cared about the way it looked. We cared about the way the acting was done. You know, we had an acting coach come in, you know what I'm saying? You know, my brother CJ, he came in, he was the acting coach. I mean, it was just like a really good group effort, you know.
Yeah.
And then with funding, it's so hard to get money for funding. I had to approach some of my friends and say, "Hey man, I need some help." You know what I'm saying? So if you're watching now, you want to help, you know, support the movie. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
talking about.
I will gladly take you up on the offer, because, you know, a lot of great things happen with people that are creative, but they don't have the financial ability to do what they envision. But then we got some people that got money and not doing nothing with the money. You know what I'm saying? You just put it to some good use.
Yeah,
You know what
the
I'm
movie
saying?
was great. Tell everybody where they can see the movie.
Well, it is showing on Tubi now, because that's what my friend told me. That's how we make some money. You know what I'm saying? It is also on Amazon Prime and YouTube and a couple other ones, but, you know, it's mainly on those platforms.
I will tell you, if you have not seen A Mirror of Deception, you must see it. It is a must see. I will tell you that the things that you have done, the movies that I've seen, the movie premieres, it has truly been exciting. And is there anything off limits to you? Like something that you will be like, no, I'm not doing that movie. I ain't doing that.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things, but I mean, it all depends on what the impact is. You know what I'm saying? Like when it still comes back down to the impact. Because if I got to tell a gruesome story to show the redemption of whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to tell the story. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm going to tell this story for the sake of telling the story, and whatever it is, if it don't make sense, I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, I'm always looking long term. Like, how is this movie going to impact people or help people? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, there's some things, you know, that if it's super contrary to what I don't watch this kind of stuff. I don't want my kids to watch this kind of stuff. Like, you know, I don't want your kids to watch this kind of stuff. No, I'm not going to do it. So there are some things that are off limit, but I'm going to listen first and see what distracts, because I don't just want to just say no without understanding the long term effect of what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool. You know, one of the things that I really love too is at our time at Evangel, how Pastor Brooks supported your movies.
Yeah.
You know, the church came out and supported, you know, what you were doing. And it's almost like when you believe in yourself, the people around it, I mean, it was magnetic, you know, to come out to the premieres, you know, for you to be at the Charles H. Wright, you know, like you were all over Metro Detroit, you know, like really making it happen as Tamashian, the visionary, and getting the work done.
And I'm just getting started.
We're
just getting started, because this is getting ready to go on another. I got other documentaries that I'm working on, and other films that I'm working on. You know, I'm doing a film on the late great Marcus Belgrave.
Okay.
He is a jazz trumpet player.
Okay.
And he impacted so many different people's lives. And to tell his story was amazing. So that's really going to have a lot of impact on people, because he's already impacted like Grammy winning people that's all over the world. You know, they know about his music, and he's probably been on 6 decades worth of songs that you've heard. I guarantee you heard, but you had no idea that was his trumpet.
So let me ask you something. How can people reach you if they have a story that they would like for you to help tell? How can people reach you?
It's better if they got a story and a budget. You know what I'm saying?
Story with some money.
Story and a budget. You got a story and a budget? Okay, all right, we can go. But if you just got a story, I got 20 other people that got stories that I'm still trying to funnel through and help get some funds. But they can reach me. You know, I'm on social media. So I got a Instagram, Tamashian TV. I'm also on Facebook, Tamashian the Visionaire Jones. And you know, they can email me at tamashian@tbotmedia.com.
Spell Tamashian, because you know that's not a easy spell.
TIMASHION @tbopmedia.com.
Y'all, I want to tell you, I am so excited that Tamashian stopped by and graced us with his wisdom, his knowledge, all of the fun that he's been a part of. Y'all, make sure that if you are someone that has a vision, write it down, make it plain, because you definitely can go somewhere. All right, join me back here next week, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., Chats and Chuckles. I am Kimberly Clemens, signing off.
Ooh.